Rossi now is closed right up on championship leader Kenny Roberts. Less than half a second between them.
A venue steeped in history.
Who would believe this man hasn't been racing touring cars for years?
We come here with one goal: speed.
Senna is up to 4th position ahead of Schumacher.
Rivalries turn from whispers into shouts.
Oh shit, he goes for the inside line. He's gone wide.
The temperature rises. Pressure, creating contenders and chaos.
He knows that these two determined wildcat riders are honing in on him. This is Neil Hudson's chance. Look at the wildcat rider.
The stage is set. Welcome to Donington Park.
So as always with Donington for me, no testing. Run as a track day on the Thursday and Friday, but yeah, no track day, no testing for me. Straight into quali. I think it's going to be about 50-50 on our grid. People that did ride on the track day either Thursday or Friday, and people that are just going straight into quali. So I know Noah's been testing. Pretty sure Alex has been testing. Enzo's been testing. Me, Polly, Callum, Tommy. Oh, Tommy tested, but me, Callum, Polly haven't tested. We've got Steve Costin, who normally races with Bemsy, with us this weekend. If he's here, I've not seen him. This is the glamorous side of a race weekend that I don't normally show. Sleeping in the back of a bare bones van. It's often quite cold. That can't be 2 race meetings in a row with that. It's April. Look at that. It's actually not even cold. What the fuck is happening? Right, hopefully you can hear me over the generator hum. I've got the microphone on just in case, but sunny morning, Donington Park. So we're in the GP layout. We've got qualified in a little bit. Some of the guys have been testing, we haven't been testing. Let's go and stick a camera into people's faces, shall we? It's my birthday today, I'm even older. 33 now. I'm not optimal. Yeah, just in case the audio was a bit scuffed earlier. Sun's out. We've got qualifying in this in about an hour or so ago, so we've got warmers on, it's filled up. Mum's just hopefully getting the timing up in a minute. We've got a target lap time this weekend of a 1:44.5. The 0.5 is there, I just want to be in the 44s. My personal best is a 46.3, I think. But the other quick guys that are here this weekend are doing 43s and 41s. So I need to be dropping a fair bit of time off that. But some of them have been testing, we haven't been testing, so this is basically a test session for us. Test all the bits that I've had loose or off on the front end. And yeah, and just keep stock for the race later on. But 10 minutes off qualifying then. Don't know how many laps we're going to get, it's only 10 minutes, so probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6 laps if we're lucky. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything silly, just ride around. chance of us go down there or not? That's what it was. They don't know how long it's going to be, well. Warm up. Just ignore me, I'm not here. No. Just documenting the aftermath. Reckon it's going to get back out?
Oh, it will live again, whether it is today or tomorrow, but it will be out for the next round.
Hopefully it's not as bad as it looks and it'll be back out later on, but well, look at this full factory looking thing. Right, we've qualified. It's probably been an hour or so since qualifying. I've not filmed anything because I had a shit qualifying and I had stuff to do on the bike. So I've got new brake pads, new brake lines, new brake fluids for this round, and my brakes are the worst they've ever been. I'm like getting lever travel back to the bar after like half a lap, which is not something I've ever had a problem with before. So that's really frustrating, but I've just bled it again and there's no air coming out, the fluid's coming through nice and clean, so I don't know why they're shit. I've lost one of my sponsor stickers off the side again, sorry Black Widow. Something about that part of the fairing is not very sticky. I ripped the heat wrap off the exhaust where it was contacting the belly pan because that was smoking still, even though it's been on there for forever now. Could also be a bit of filler on the belly pan burning off, where I've had to space the belly pan out some more from the exhaust. But now I catch the fairing on the ground around some corners anyway, so the more I space it out, the more I'm catching it on the floor. So I basically got to pick one of the evils. Either I melt it on the exhaust or I grind through it on the floor. Fuck knows what time I'm out for my race, because they've put 2 races in between qualifying sessions where we've had a bit of a fuck around this morning. So we've got endurance qualifying out now. We've already had race 1 and race 2, and I think I'm race 6. So just playing it by ear now, I guess, and see what happens.
Right, it's the Antarctic strawberry feather star. Now this creature has 20 feather-like arms that helps it move gracefully through the water. So you're going to go graceful round that track. Have a great time. Most important thing, have a fun, happy time. Happy birthday.
We get ready to get underway on our sighting lap. Let's have a run through the grid for you. It's Lewis Smart from pole position, Jacob Stevenson and Harrison McKay on the front row. P4, Sam Green, Jack Dunnerby and Lewis Arrowsmith alongside. John Coughlin, he's at 7th with Jonathan Perry, P8, and Chloe Jones in P9. Good to have her here with us, of course, from Assen. Then row number 4 is Jamie Hanks-Elliott, Katie Hand and Scott Page. Noah Guillory is 13th with Charlotte McCuzo in 14th and Ian Tune P15. 16th is Jensen Bishop with Liam Kirk 17th and Daniel Adams in P18. Row 7, Stephen Costin, Alex Cook and Blake Didwell. Ben Fulford starts 22nd with Lewis Cox and Bradley Hopkinson alongside. Then it's George Dudson in 25th, Louisa Benny 26th and Enzo Laturco in 27th. Callum Wren is 28th, Russell Brook is 29th and David Wall is 30th. Tommy Phillips, Isabel Carter and Connor Woodman are on row 11. And then we've got 7 riders who didn't set lap times in qualifying. And I also believe I saw someone joining the grid who is not in any of the classes. He's just kind of allowed to run out there. And we saw in other races in the former marker hole. So could even be 41 out there. We'll wait and see. But it's Polly Richardson, Henry Sheehan, Archie White, Thomas Cawthorne West, Tyler Viveros, Brandon Keane and Martin Siggins. Those are the 40 that we have on the grid. Whether we have all of them, whether there's some changes, we'll figure it out as we go.
First time this weekend in the Next Gen Sport Bike Super Twins and, of course, the Stock Twin Championship. Jacob Stevenson, not a great start from the front row of the grid. He does manage to hold on to position as Lewis Smart takes the whole shot from pole position and leads the field through. Everyone through nice and clean. Blake Didwell in the middle of the screen there, just getting bunched up throughout the field. Louisa Benny as well on the outside of the circuit. Up for the time being and doesn't want to get them dirty, as we do have a rider down and that looks to be over by McLean's, so disappointing stuff from them. Luckily up on their feet, it looks like frustration is the biggest emotion for them. Into somewhere like the old hairpin, as we got another rider going slowly now as well. That's the number 91 who's coming to a halt, and looks like that thing's just given up, so hopefully they're A-OK, but a real shame for the number 91 rider out there. Yeah, so Phillips having some issues there out on circuit, so
at Donington Park as Marshall's now trying to recover the 22 machine.
Yeah.
That is the same bike that went down earlier. They've just managed to recruit a friend from somewhere else, shall we say.
Yeah, it's the rider that's helping them out get the bike away.
Well, at least the bike's out of the way now. That's the main thing. We can get rid of the yellow flags in that area and go racing again. Going back to that move from Lewis Smart we saw down at the S's, should I say. What I was really impressed is how you saw him set that move up. Down at the old hairpin, we saw the mistake from Stevenson as we got a rider down coming out of the final corner. Marshall's desperately waving for the riders to come to a stop, and the red flag will be flying. The red flag is flying, I believe. And yes, it is. You can see there on the Digi flag. A fantastic race brought to a halt, and given we're so close to the end, I fear it may be called.
Nearest challenger, should I dare say, is down D12. That would be 2-2-4, and Junior also did make up 2 positions. At the end of the it is anyone who takes
Gordon? Got second in race 1. Had to go and moan about it because we got a couple of 250s out, but yeah, another nice little glass trophy for the collection. I think Alex showed me a wheel once, and then I was battling with a Super Twin, so I didn't know what position I was in really because I couldn't see how many standards were up in front, stocks up in front, should I say. But the race was red flagged due to, well, a few accidents, but one of them being Noah, I presume crashed out of first or second. Apparently he'd high-sided out of Goddard's, but his bike and him were still in the track when I come round, and then they red flagged it. So I think I was rolling around in like 4th or 5th then at that point. By the time of DQ the 250s, yeah, second, so way better than I thought I was going to do. Sweet nectar.
Over sensor.
Is that what it was? You've had that problem before, haven't you?
Reliability is becoming less and less of a...
They're Randy racing as well. We did see not too far away, not too far tomorrow. It's back in our mouth. Laps, and he's definitely woken up now.
Make a wish.
I wish to be a real boy.
Sprint racing time, lights out. We
just a bit of catching up on the sprint in the van.
Look at the launch from Marc Marquez. Brilliant start to the race.
Right, it's the next morning. We've got quite a lot of canned races from yesterday to fit into the schedule today. But I still maintain my 12 lap race 2 and my 9 lap race 3, unless there's any more dramas today, which if yesterday's anything to go by, there probably will be, but still quite early. My first race is at like 5 minutes to 1 in the afternoon. So yeah, I've got a lot of time to hopefully watch some bikes and catch up with people. So I had my sports massage with Beth at Bionic yesterday. These fuckers have been married for a year now. Right, we're pissing around with fuel because we've got a 12 lap race. Plus a warm lap means we're doing 13 laps. If I was going to do sort of 0.6, 0.7 litres of fuel per lap, I thought it'd be safe I put 10 litres in, and it was more or less a full tank. So I'd obviously put 10 litres in onto quite a lot of fuel that was already in there that I couldn't draw out before. And speaking to some of the other riders, they're putting like 7.5, 8.5 litres in, so I think I'm overestimating quite a lot. So we're going to take it out and see what comes out, and aim for like 9 or something like that. And hopefully we get it right and we don't run out of fuel. It's currently 20 past 10, so still mid-morning. And the sun's broken through and the clouds have buggered off, so we're in for another cracking day of sunshine. I'm just warming the twin up for a race later, but just another shout out to the 13 club members. All these absolute studs on here. You can, I'll do a little update on the racing page at some point, but you can go here or here and find out what it's about. Basically, donate £13 to any of these charities and show me proof that you've donated, and you get your name on the board to win some prizes. We are going to update the prizes. So hopefully that entices some money towards these animal charities, and all these people have already done that, so they're all absolute studs. But yeah, we've got 12 laps. The sun's breaking through, it's starting to get a bit warm, so I imagine it's going to be a bit of a sweaty one. I don't mind the idea of a longer race. I don't feel like I fatigue as bad as I used to towards the end of races, so hopefully it's a good thing for me. Noah is declared unfit for the rest of the weekend though, so unfortunately for him, he's injured his his index and his middle finger on his left hand, and they've declared him unfit because he's got no grip strength. So fortunately for him, he's out for the rest of the weekend. Alex, who crashed in that race, is back out. Tommy is riding his 600 in on the Super Series grid in the club sport category or whatever they've called it now, so he's not going to be out with us. Polly is going to be back out after a qualifying crash. Yeah, well, changes things a little bit with Noah not being here. I guess Steve will probably run away with a win again, but I'll be hopefully getting some more big points for it, but we'll see. Obviously it's racing, anything can happen, but couple of hours we're out. It's only 2 races time, but the races are long for the first one of Sunday, so yeah. So we've got a very cool milestone coming up this weekend. Currently completed 98 races, so if I complete the first race today and then I start the last race of the day, that last race of the day will be 100 races for me. Fully like a veteran, I would have done 100 races. We're here with Super Twin superstar Lewis. Which tactics for a long race, Lewis?
Superstar. Just keep riding round for 12 laps or until it's red flagged.
What's tactics, Polly, for a 12 lap race?
Stay on and finish. Try to finish. Desperately try.
So you're going to go graceful around that track.
As we said though, Jacob Stevenson starts from pole position. That's thanks to 136.713. He goes alongside Lewis Smart and Harrison McKay. Lewis Arsmith on the Aprilia RS660 goes from P4 alongside Sam Green and Jack Dunnaby in P6. Jonathan Perry, John Colum and Chloe Jones going from our World WCR programme. She goes from P9. Phil World WCR rider Katie Hand goes from P10. She's just picked up her first World Championship points at Assen as Jamie Hanks Elliott, I should say, starts from P11. Scott Page goes from 12th with Ian Troon, Noah Gilray and Stephen Costin going from row 5. Liam Kirk starts from P16 as Charlotte Marcuso starts from 17th on the number 17. Daniel Adams, Jensen Bishop and Blake Didwell round out the top 20. Obviously Blake Didwell, your reigning stock twin champion. Alex Cook goes from P21 as Louisa Benny starts from P22. Now she was also testing the Yamaha R9 on Friday. But continuing on the R7 this weekend for racing action as Bradley Hopkins and Lewis Cox round out row 8. Enzo Tobias Loturco starts from P25 with Russell Brooks and George Dudson rounding out row 9. Callum Wren, Marco Holt and Connor Woodman round out our top 30 riders as further back David Wall, Isabel Carter, Ben Fulford and Archie White take up a few more places with Thomas Corn from West, Polly Richardson rounding out the top 36. and the red flag actually showing out there on the main straight. So red flag out at half race distance.
Yeah, it must have had an incident somewhere, or maybe some fluid down in a dangerous situation. We'll inform you of what's happened as soon as we're aware, but red flag lap 6.
Nice.
Athlete sweat.
Is it real sweat?
It's real sweat. I'm a high performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat, sweat.
Oh boy! Oh no, sorry to hide.
What have you done?
I haven't done anything. You know it's doing Aprilia things.
Race 2 was a bit interesting. We got underway for a 12 lapper, and you said it was lap 6, man. And it was like, yeah, lap 5 then, so we would have been on lap 6. We had a red flag. Don't know why. Didn't see anything on track. No carnage that I could see. Didn't ride past anything. Held us in pit lane for a little while and restarted the race from the original grid positions. So the first half of the race, the first 5 laps we did, almost mean nothing. But in that first one, I did have a really good battle with Louisa Benny and Lewis Cox. I think Louisa's down as being on the next gen this weekend, but they're both on Super Twins. I was desperate to get in front of them in case there was a closing lot of stock twins behind. But then, with the restart, all of that meant nothing because it was from original grid positions, which is obviously, if you watch BSB, MotoGP, World Supers, if you get a red flag after the first 3 laps, you start the race from the running order, not the grid position. So basically it didn't matter who I was near in the first one, but second one was a bit cleaner. I didn't have as much going on in terms of battling, but where they were keeping us in the pit lane and like moving us around and keeping us waiting with engines running for a while, a few bikes pulled off the grid overheating. Mine got very hot. I think my bike was a bit unhappy, and ended up catching like 3 or 4 false neutrals in that race. I ran on at turn 1 because I couldn't get a gear. Going up Starkeys, so I gave up a lot of time. But when I looked back to rejoin after going wide at Redgate, I could see that nobody was really that near behind me at that time. So I think that was like lap 3 or lap 4, and I knew it was a 5-lap restart, so I got to sort of chill out a bit because I knew I weren't catching anyone, and it didn't look like anyone in my class was catching me either. So but yeah, finished it and got another second place. So that's 2 races, 2 second places. I managed to do a 145. Mum's taking the board down, so packing away. But I managed to do a 145 flat lap time in that one with an ideal of a 1:44.4, I think. So we've done the target lap time, we've got 2 second places, so the weekend's going in a pretty good direction, but we're back out for a 9-lap race in a few hours now. We'll do a quick recap. So Polly crashed in qualifying, borrowed Tommy's fairings and she's gone back out. Liam's done a PB and he's flying and he's elbowing people out the way. Lewis had a mechanical issue, which hopefully he's sorted and is back out for the next one. Tommy's on a different bike, so he's had a chance to go play in the Super Series, so we haven't seen anything of Tommy on track this weekend, which is a shame. And Callum's way down there, so I'm not going to go walk and see Callum, so fuck you, Callum, for being antisocial. Oh, to be a weevil on a tyre warmer. If I at least make the start for this third and final race of the weekend, it will be my 100th race. So that seems pretty crazy. 100 sounds like a lot, but at the same time, I've only been racing since 2022, so managed to cram quite a lot of action in a few years. Yeah, my next race start will be my 100th race start. How crazy is that? That's a pretty wild number. So a century of races. Do you call somebody that turns 100 centenarian? A centenarian racer. A centurion. Centurion sounds better. We've got one more race. We've got one more 9-lap race coming up. So in front of us we've got Steve, who's won the 2 races. He's going to essentially take pole position for our class. Then I think it's me. Then Callum. Then I'm not sure who's in front of who between George and Enzo. Yeah, it should be in a podium battle again for this one. Callum found a bit of pace that he didn't have yesterday in that one, so I expect I'll see a bit more of Callum in this next one. He might drag Enzo along with him as well. We'll see what happens. I think it's a safe bet to assume that I'm probably not going to get on tabs with Steve because he's like 3 or 4 seconds quicker than me, so that's a lot to find in one race unless he just takes it easy for the last one. I'm not sure, but probably won't see much of Steve, but hopefully a nice podium battle with some of the other guys to round out what's been a good weekend.
The Antarctic strawberry feather star is a type of crinoid, which is a marine animal that's related to starfish and sea urchins. It has about 20 arms that are covered in feathery tentacles, and it can range in color from purplish to dark reddish. The name strawberry feather star comes from the fact that the creature's body resembles the shape of a strawberry.
Ready for the final race for the Sawn Cover Stock Twins, the Track Day Alex Super Twins, and the No Limits Next Gen Sport Bikes. We've had some fantastic racing from all of these guys so far this weekend, and we're looking forward to even more of that for our final 9-lap affair here at Donington Park. And again, a little bit overcast here, it's a little bit grey, but the temperature still very, very warm. We are missing a couple of people, it would seem, out on the grid, and we're just waiting to send them on their sighting lap, but should be really exciting. We've had some great battles, especially between the sport bike guys up the front. Again, it's very much the future of bike racing in the UK, it would seem, and they provided us some fantastic entertainment along the way. Let's run through the grid for you for the final time in these classes. It is Harrison McKay who starts on pole position, Lewis Smart alongside Jacob Stevenson in P3. Lewis Arrowsmith is fourth with Jack Dudley P5, Sam Green P6. Row number 3 is Brandon Keane, Jonathan Perry and John Coughlin. Chloe Jones, the WCR rider joining us this weekend, is starting P10 with Liam Kirk splitting herself and WCR compatriot Katie Hand. Steve Costin is 13th alongside Ian Tune and Charlotte Macuso. Then we've got Jensen Bishop, Jamie Hanks Elliott and Blake Didwell. Callum Wren, Connor Woodman and Enzo Laturco on row 7. Bradley Hopkinson, Russell Brook and Louisa Benny immediately behind. George Dudson is 25th with Ben Pumfolk in 26th and Polly Richardson in 27th. David Wall 28th, and then a whole host of riders who didn't set a lap time may or may not be here. Again, the grid looks a bit smaller than it has been, so we'll figure it out. But we are also set to have Lewis Cox, Isabel Carter, Christian Johnson, Archie White, Thomas Cawthorne West, Scott Page, Daniel Adams, Noah Guillory, Marco Holt, Alex Cook, Tyler Viveros, Henry Sheehan and 41. So we could have had a maximum of 41 riders ready in this one. But again, grid looks a little bit emptier as the day's gone on, and it's just gone 4:15 here local time, British summertime, of course.
We're so close to the rear wheel Aerosmith as we see Enzo Laturco. But the fastest lap of the race is certainly an impressive result, and to get a win.
go, mate. That was scary as fuck. Mate, calm down. Calm down, man. That was so sketchy.
I pooped my pants.
I can't get the results at the minute, but I think so.
Right, just finished race 3, the final race of the weekend, in which I finished 3rd. Steve won the race again. George actually came 2nd. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it. The onboards will probably tell you a bit of a story, but there was some rather, what I would consider to be over-the-line racing from Enzo. There was a lot of very dodgy overtakes or attempts at overtakes. So I was riding around in P2 for a lot of it. Liked for it to have been another 2nd, but 2 seconds and a 3rd. And that is what my 100th race ever, so a centurion of races. Right, I've just had to attend, well, pop back up to speak to somebody about the last race, because sat there celebrating my 3rd and packing up to go home, and then I've seen the results sheet. I've been DQ'd for not attending Parc Fermé when I was definitely in Parc Fermé, as the video will show. Yeah, so DQ'd for not attending Parc Fermé, which I definitely attended to pick up my trophy, so more fucking fantastic organising there. So hopefully they rectify that. Hopefully they delete the GP, but their 250 GP bikes from the results, and fuck knows what the point situation will look like. But I got 2 seconds and a 3rd is the correct results, regardless of what TSL will say at the moment in time. And that's it from Donington Park. So round 2 is finished, and next is Croft for round 3.
Beautiful scenery.
That would be a good place to spectate.
You're goddamn right.